Are you serious? Are you serious? Is it possible that Obamacare, with its RFID microchip mandate, is it possible it could be added to the tax bill and be repealed in the same bill? They could do 2-for-1 deal? What? It's too good to be true. It's just too good to be true. Well, here's the story. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky announced just a few minutes ago that the Senate tax bill will include language to repeal Obamacare's individual mandate, which could make it tougher for the moderate Republicans to support. Conservatives led by GOP Senator Ted Cruz and Kentucky Senator Rand Paul and Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton pushed hard to include the provision which would eliminate the federal penalty on people who do not buy health insurance. That would be amazing. McConnell told reporters that adding the individual mandate repeal will make it easier to muster the 50 votes to pass the bill. We're optimistic that inserting the individual mandate repeal would be helpful, and that's obviously the view of the Senate Finance Committee. Now, this doesn't fix Obamacare, but at least if you decided not to have insurance and you didn't want to go, you at least when you file your taxes, the IRS doesn't penalize you $750 per person. Okay? So it will raise an estimated $300 billion to $400 billion over the next year that could be used to pay for lowering individual and business tax rates even further. But Senator John Thune of South Dakota, the Senate's number 3 Republican, told reporters there has been a whip count, and he is confident Republicans can pass this tax bill that includes a measure to repeal the Obamacare mandate. Thune said that Alexander Murray bill aimed at stabilizing markets would be brought up separately, and that bill funds key payments to insurers for 2 years in exchange for more flexibility for states to change Obamacare rules. And of course, President Trump has already signed an executive order allowing people to go across state lines to find new insurance companies that may offer them a better deal, which makes it more of a free, open market approach. And I'm pleased that the Senate Finance Committee has accepted my proposal to repeal Obamacare individual mandate in the tax legislation, said Senator Tom Cotton. Repealing the mandate pays for more tax cuts for working families and protects them from being fined by the IRS for not being able to afford insurance that Obamacare said was unaffordable. Obamacare said this is the Affordable Care Act, but it has become unaffordable. So why, if something's unaffordable, if you can't pay for it, you can't afford it, then why should you be taxed? That's like insult to injury, which is what the Obamacare bill has been doing to the American public since 2010. Matter of fact, I urge the House to include the mandate repeal in the tax legislation. Republican members of the Senate Finance Committee had met Monday night to discuss the repeal issue, and Republican aides are saying that the full Senate GOP caucus discussed the idea at its lunch meeting on Tuesday. Senator John Kennedy, a Republican out of Louisiana, said the bulk of the GOP's policy luncheon Tuesday was focused on repealing the individual mandate through tax reform. He said the decision wasn't unanimous, but that no one threatened to vote against tax reform if it were included. So this is totally different from health care. Nobody was standing up saying, if you do this, I'm not going to vote for the bill. There's none of that. Everybody wants to say yes to this. So Kennedy said the savings could give relief to those middle and upper middle tax payers who are not getting as much relief as they should because of the bill's elimination of state and local tax deductions. I still think they should let people use the state and local tax deductions on their federal taxes, and maybe somebody will still push that through. And oh, by the way, the middle class people who are paying their taxes, and if they are buying their health insurance through Obamacare, it's not going to help them on their taxes because they're not going to be penalized because they have health insurance. So it doesn't help them on their taxes. But it does help the people who can't afford Obamacare, who have no insurance. Why should they also be poked in the eye by the IRS for an additional $750 per person? This is the dismantling of Obamacare. Looks like they're going to have to do it one piece at a time, like Johnny Cash did when he built that new car. He took it one piece at a time. Maybe that's how it's going to happen with Obamacare, the dismantling of the Obamacare. I'll be back with more current world events, how they relate to biblical prophecy. Do not miss tonight's Prime Time Live. I'll be on at 10 p.m. Eastern live with all the current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We're living in the last days.